I was reading what Peter said. He went to Cornelius's house, and there were some Gentiles there. Cornelius said, Acts chapter 10, verse 33, he said, I sent to you immediately, and you have done well to come. Now, therefore, we are all present before God to hear all the things commanded you by God. So they were like, our ears are open. What do you have to say, Peter? Verse 34, then Peter opened his mouth and said, in truth, I perceive that God shows no partiality, but in every nation, whoever fears him and works righteousness is accepted by him. The word which God sent to the children of Israel, preaching peace through Jesus Christ, he is Lord of all. That word you know, which was proclaimed throughout all Judea and began from Galilee after the baptism which John preached. How God anointed Jesus of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit and with power, who went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil, for God was with him. And we are witnesses of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they killed by hanging on a tree. Him God raised up on the third day and showed him openly, not to all the people, but to witnesses chosen before by God, even to us who ate and drank with him after he arose from the dead. And he commanded us to preach to the people and to testify that it is he who was ordained by God to be judge of the living and the dead. To him all the prophets witness that through his name whoever believes in him will receive remission of sins. While Peter was still speaking these words, the Holy Spirit fell upon all those who heard the word, and those of the circumcision who believed were astonished, as many as came with Peter, because the gift of the Holy Spirit had been poured out on the Gentiles also. For they heard them speak with tongues and magnify God. Then Peter answered, can anyone forbid water that these should not be baptized, who have received the Holy Spirit just as we have? And he commanded them to be baptized in the name of the Lord. Then they asked him to stay a few days. That's the actual preaching of the gospel. The Lord wants us to get acquainted with the confidence of what he did for us, of who he is, and what Jesus taught, and what he entrusted for us to continue spreading. The Lord wants us to get out of our shells, to not be hidden, because if we are to be the light of the world, he's going to need you to walk. And he's equipping us slowly but surely to receive his spirit, to receive his truth, to walk according to how Jesus said to walk, and to be the living example of a follower, a disciple of Christ.